Hi there, it's Memory from Friends Abroad Relationship School, and today we are sharing episode 23 of Trauma on the Screen, and I am going to be joined by Deborah. So the film we are reviewing today is Infomeda, which is a Polish film, and this is a film about a bored housewife who is into crime fiction, excuse me, and she has given up a career for family, and she has two children and the husband is not attentive at all. The theme in this film is around codependency and also what we sacrifice for relationship. This is a very important theme in there, and also how our boredom and our lack of something to do can lead us to hobbies that are probably helpful or not helpful, depending on how you look at it. So this lady, she is walking a dog, and then she discovered a body. And before she leaves home, though, her husband is at home with her daughters, and the husband is constantly on the phone. You don't see him doing much except looking on his phone and doing what he does on the phone, which seems to be not very helpful in the context that he has got a family there, he's got children there, and he's not paying attention to his children and to his family. So we discover that after Deborah, can you please ask to be added? I can't bring you to the camera for some reason, so you need to, oh, there we go. I can add you. Can you make sure you've got earphones, please? And hello, you're upside down, you're turning.
Is it better like this?
Yeah, good to see you again. Yeah. So, yeah, I've just pounced in really. I've started already, and I was talking about Magda, and that she is a woman who gave up her career, and she has two children and a husband, and she's into crime fiction, and then she's out walking a dog, and she sees a body, and of course, her husband is always on the phone. Which is a modern phenomenon, isn't it? Where people are constantly on the phone these days.
It is very common. Sometimes I go out and I see like people on dates and they're like on their phone or like looking to one another, and I'm like, wow, why would you do that if you're on a date with someone?
Yeah, the phone has become more of a partner than the partner who sat next to you. Yeah. So husband is Thomas. And we also discovered that the husband is having an affair. And this is one thing, again, that we sometimes don't pick up, isn't it? When you're in a relationship, you don't realize actually that the person you are in a relationship with is having an affair when you live around them. And that was
I think she knew, but she just didn't want to say it because she was suspicious straight away when she found the perfume and the receipt for the perfume. So she was very she knew, and even a friend told her like your husband is having an affair, and she was like, oh no, it's not possible, blah blah. Maybe because she thought that he was not gonna have time, and because he treated her like she was invisible, so she thought, nah, no way that he's gonna find time and ask for another woman. But he did.
That is interesting you say that. So you are saying that she was in denial, and this is common with people in relationships who don't want to admit that their spouse is having a relationship. And why do you think, I mean, that people, they deny that someone is having an affair?
Yeah, because I think even if she was unhappy, she was comfortable with that life. That's all she knew. So admitting and saying, like acknowledging, okay, my husband is cheating on me, will ever, make for her to take action. like, you know, leaving the house or maybe go and look for a job or something. I think she just didn't want to, you know, be asked to do that. So she just accepted everything that was happening.
Or it might have destroyed the illusion that she
Yeah.
had built around the relationship, isn't it? Because we build fantasies around these relationships when we have made mistakes. Because at the
Yeah.
end of the film, you hear her saying that I am undoing the mistake that we made 15 years
15
ago.
years ago. Yeah.
Yes. And this is a powerful statement. That was a powerful statement to me because
Yeah.
it means that people know that the relationship is not right,
Yeah.
but they
But
still go in.
she stayed because I don't remember if it was a friend or a sister or something that they said like you settled like pretty much for the first guy available, and that's what she did because they got together when they were maybe really young, and she didn't know, you know, she didn't have maybe any comparison or something, and she just settled because that's the life, you know, that maybe society was waiting for her to follow, like getting married,
Interesting.
having kids.
Yeah, that was a friend, the sister of Sikora, the
Yeah,
policeman. Yeah, so that was her best friend, and she's also the one who told her that her husband was having an affair, and also the commissioner was the one who also exposed that he
yeah,
was having an affair. And I think I like what happened in the end because she came to her senses. But before that, yeah, interest in crime fiction, that what was that all about? You know, I know that it's a film and she ended up doing what you won't normally see in real life,
mm-hmm.
but she was very invested, and I think to me really it looked like it was a distraction,
Yeah,
something to do to get away from her problems.
yeah. To get distracted, not to face like the reality back home, because she started to spend like more time outside, you know, like investigating, and also shows that you know, she's a very smart woman because she got a lot of, you know, clues and everything that the cops actually missed. So it was good to see that it's finally, you know, she finally woke up and realized that she didn't need the husband. I mean, he was always on his phone anyway.
Yes, and her decision to look for a job from the prompting of a friend, that was a powerful decision because she had given up her career a long time ago for the sake of
Yeah.
family. And sometimes that is our undoing when we prioritize a family, a relationship, which is something we are still doing in society. We put a relationship above everything else.
Yeah,
And
and that's
then
wrong.
later on in life we regret, we
Yep.
resent this person
Yeah.
because we claim that they made us leave what we wanted to do, or they took away what we wanted in our lives, isn't it?
Yeah. It's
which
true.
is which is pretty
That's
fascinating.
that's why I think you should always, you know, have a balance. Even if you have kids or something, you can find like a part-time job or, you know, anything just to keep you distracted and to get you out of the house. I don't think it's very healthy for women to spend like 24/7 at home with kids.
Yes, and also I feel that we are in the days of a man also having to get involved, because I think we have learned this habit that women are the one who have to go on maternity leave and they
Yeah.
have to stay at home. But we are also getting to this stage where it has to go either way. You know, men can get paternity leave. I know that definitely in the UK men can get paternity leave. So I think it's important that we don't get bogged down with family duties as
Yeah.
if we are the only parent when we have children. So
Yeah.
men also need to be actively involved, isn't it, in
Yeah. But
parenting children.
most women do, you know how it is. Once they give birth, they want to be involved. Like, you know, they think if they're not around the kid, maybe the dad is not able to take, you know, good care of them or something. So they just elected themselves like, oh, you know, I need to be around the kid like 27. Otherwise, you know, nobody's gonna take care of him, which is wrong because I'm sure, you know, a man is capable. Of course, he can breastfeed him or things like that, but I'm sure he can help around the house and around the baby. I
That
think
is
it's
so
in the
true.
in this case, it was just convenient for him that she was, stuck at home, so he could go around and do whatever he wanted, and she was clueless because, of course, she was too busy taking care of like two kids. I mean, they were not teenagers, but they were like maybe 8 and 10 or something. So, quite demanding. So
Absolutely, absolutely. The other pair, the other couple that is quite fascinating is the is Barbara and Bruno. So, what do you think about them? Because we know that the Bruno was having an affair with Veronica, isn't it?
yeah,
And she ended up being killed by Barbara, and
yeah,
so that is very challenging again, where people recognize that they made a mistake, obviously, and they're in a relationship, they're successful, and then he recognizes that he doesn't love his wife, and instead of leaving his wife, he goes to have an affair with a young girl, and
uh,
then
think he didn't leave his wife just because, I mean, he got whatever he had because of her. She was the one with money, she was the powerful one, so he knew that without her he would have been nothing, and I think that's the reason why he married her in the first place. Maybe, at some point they had feelings or something, but I think in the end the only reason why he stayed with her is just because, she was powerful and he was totally like nothing without her.
this is the thing, isn't it, Deborah, that we get into relationships for the wrong reasons. Because you marry someone for money, but that doesn't last. And at
Yeah,
some point, your feelings will show that you are not into this person. And then
yep,
you meet somebody who you really love, and then you want to leave. And this is the thing. Do you think you can just get away with having your cake and eating it, especially in the background of a woman who's that powerful?
yeah,
It's not likely, is it? I mean, why not just focus on what's making you happy and know that you can't have it all?
yeah. I know, but sometimes people and men can be selfish as well. As you say, they want to have the cake and eat it too. So he wanted to stay with his wife and protect, like his money, his job, his position, and everything, and still like having an affair with a beautiful, younger woman.
Yeah, and I can understand and believe what you are saying, because if he was going if he was into this woman, this young lady, 100%, and he was going to be with her when she died, he could have reported to the police.
Exactly, he would have done
Because,
something. I think
yes,
maybe it was like a midlife crisis as well. Like, is a man turning like what 40 or 50 or something, so maybe he just felt the need to prove himself that he's still likable. I think like having an affair, I mean, she was very good looking, so it's quite flattering for your ego as well.
I think they said that he was actually in love because he had had affairs before,
Mm,
but he was in love. And I think that was that not his second wife, his wife Barbara. I think she was his second wife. There was another wife
I think
before
it
him,
was,
if before her.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
it was second
So,
one.
and he had had affairs before. I think he had a history of affairs. And that also makes you question his background, where he came from, which made him sort of continue to look in women. What was he actually looking for? It can actually tell you about his upbringing, isn't it? That there
Yeah,
was somewhere
that's
in his.
why I don't believe that he was in love. I mean, probably at some point, yeah, he had feelings for her, but I think, men like that, they just cheat because, yeah, they constantly like looking for something that they cannot find in any woman. So they just jump from one to another. I
Trying to
think maybe
fix
they
the
don't
sins of mother.
yeah, maybe they don't even know what they're looking for. Maybe they always feel like there's constantly like something missing, in this woman, so they go look for something in somebody else.
Yeah, yeah, I can understand that. I can believe that, because he was really insatiable, wasn't he?
Yeah.
One person, the next person, and his wife again, very codependent and very toxic behaviors there. Because you have got the money, surely, I mean, this is where you realize that money is not, it's nothing. There is nothing that matters when it comes to love except love itself. Because you can actually see that she had money, but she had to push a young girl down the steps. Why? Because a relationship to her was more important. It was more powerful than her money. She had to kill the other girl to cover up, because to her, her husband's success was more important than, you know, than killing someone else. You know, it was worth killing
And I think
someone else for.
also wanted to protect like that image they had, like, you know, the perfect couple in
Mhm.
love after so many years, you know, no scandal, no drama, nothing. So I think she did that for that as well.
It's interesting because yes, people want to protect their reputation. But why not actually protect your reputation by being loving and doing the right thing? Why is it so important that people want to be seen by the public as somebody who is in a happy relationship, rather than actually fixing their relationship with themselves and then with their partner first?
Because
It just,
fixing the relationship with yourself requires, you know, hard work, very hard work. And some people are not willing to do that. Some people, they don't want to sit down and admit there is something wrong with them. It's not even something wrong, something they have to acknowledge and they have to work on. So it's just easier to pretend there's nothing wrong and just like concentrate on somebody else, on their relationship. So it can distract you from just actually saying, you know, I think, you know, I have to work on that. People don't want
wow.
to do that.
Wow, that is so amazing. And I've heard, I think I observe that quite a lot. It's
Yeah.
easy to just get validation from superficial activities
Yeah.
and practices and actions, rather than actually address what's happening within, and actually detach from everything else, from the noise of, you know, of the environment, and work on yourself, and then come back authentically, isn't it? Show up authentically. I think it is hard work, and I totally agree with you that working on yourself is not the easiest thing. What about Sikora, the police, the policeman? Do you feel that? Why do you think he ended up as a policeman anyway?
I don't know. He seemed like clueless, so I don't know how he could even get the job in the first place. But uh, I think he was secretly in love with Magda,
He was, yes.
and this is why like he stayed friends and he stayed by her side for, you know, so many years. And you know, by
Yes.
the end of the, you know, in the end, you can't really see, you can't really understand if she's like, you know, finally wakes up and realizes that she has feelings for him as well, or it's a bit like, you know, because she's also likes the attention of the doctor, the vet.
Jason,
So
yes. But in your opinion, Deborah, if we think that Magda ended up with Thomas, what would you think about Magda? Do you feel that would have been a good idea?
not straight away, of course. I
No.
think she's the kind of woman that needs to be alone for a while and just, you know, work on her, address her issues, and just, yeah, stay off like a, you know, dating for at least a year or something.
Absolutely. And the thing about it is, even if she did her inner work, I don't think that guy was good for her. You know why? Because she was a drinker. He wasn't a drinker. He was an alcoholic. He
Yeah.
had addictions, that guy. Yeah, he was struggling on his own as he was. And he, you know, his sister was trying to prevent him from drinking and all that, and he was drinking. So really, if Magda went to him, then that would be another problem again. Would have
Yeah,
to
it would have
question
been
her
another
background
toxic
again.
relationship. She would have been another codependent to get him recover from his like drinking addiction. So yeah.
Yeah. And these are important things that we are learning now, because when we go out with people, we need to really observe how they drink, because it's easy to dismiss the drinking as, well, we went out and we got drunk. But you've got to really keep an eye on that, because that can be a problem later on. Because
Yeah.
we are only learning now that actually those addictions are deadly to relationships, aren't they?
Yes, they
Yeah, so very
do.
important, really. Yeah, so the young girls like Veronica, dating older men and all that. What do you think was going on there?
I don't want to judge and say, probably I think she was fascinated by, the old, powerful man with money, with a reputation. And probably she was naive enough that she thought, I'm so good looking, I'm so, he's gonna leave his wife for me and gonna get the happy ending, because she seemed like a sometimes, especially young girls, I think when they enter like affairs or something, when they decided to have to become mistresses, it's just because deep inside they hope that the man is gonna leave like the wife, and maybe they're gonna get the sugar daddy things, like older man providing for them and everything.
Yeah, it's sad though, because we have to be honest. It's a depiction of trauma when a young girl does that and they are dating. And this is not common to young girls only, even older women, mature women, they do that. They date somebody who's already in a relationship. And then only to find out actually that, they are doing themselves a lot of injustice. They are settling and he's not going to leave his woman, and
Yeah.
you go in there thinking that maybe I can compete and I'm the best. But the moment that you get into a relationship like that, where there's another woman, you are already lowering your value, because what you are saying is that I'm okay with being second best. And so this person, this man, does not have an incentive to actually, step up and,
Absolutely.
and have
I mean, he can have the wife if he can have you. You
yeah.
don't, you accept the situation, you accept that he's gonna go back home to another woman or something. So why would he have to do anything?
Why would they? And it's both of them actually, even the wife allowing that and also even fighting for him on his
Oh yeah,
behalf instead of getting out.
like she knew that he
Yeah,
had a lot of her. Still, he accepted
yeah,
all of that.
yeah. You have to value yourself, isn't it? You have to recognize that, unless you value yourself, nobody else is going to do that for you. And so,
Yeah,
yeah, although we can see Magda in the end, it's very liberating to see her on her
yeah,
own, being free. I mean, and liberated and and divorcing her husband and all that. It's quite nice, but you've got to, it's just difficult for so many people to get to that stage, isn't it? To
yeah.
actually leave and decide that, you know what, it's done.
Yeah, some people, they have to reach rock bottom, and some other people, even if they do, they just continue because they're scared of being alone. Like even the husband, he should have been like happy, like, okay, like she finally knows, so I can go and, be free. But he looked shocked because he got comfy in the house with her taking care of the kids, cooking for him and everything. So, why would he want to leave?
Yes. And did you notice something? There's something powerful that we recommend and we say to women, and it's not only women, also men also. The fact that if you value yourself, you will leave any situation that is not in your best interest. And
Yeah,
when you decide to leave, someone will start stepping up. If you remember, when Magda came back home, the day that she decided that she has had enough, and her husband asked something, and she said, I'm having an affair. Do you know
I
what
know.
he did straight away? He said, we are going out.
Yeah. Yeah, he went upstairs or something, like he didn't even believe her, because he knew that she will not do anything like that.
Yes.
So yeah.
And this is the problem, because what happens is that when people are in a relationship and they are getting away with bad behavior, they believe that they can get away with anything and they
Yeah,
feel like this person is not going to leave. And that
yeah,
is exactly what he didn't expect. He didn't anticipate that Magda was going to leave because he thought
yeah,
she was just stuck there,
yeah.
pegged.
Yeah, which is good. It was quite nice to see that she finally, like stood up for herself and decided, okay, you know what, I wasted 15 years of my life. I don't want to waste, you know, any more
Exactly.
time.
Exactly. And it's never too late. It's never too late, even when someone has been with a person for a long time and mistakes have been made. You can start all over again. You can
Absolutely.
put that to a stop and you can start all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a final word before we go, Deborah?
Yeah, I would say, you know, like sometimes as women we get you know, stuck in this belief like oh, it's too late, or it's gonna be like this forever or something. But as you say, it's never too late to be happy, and better to be, you know, single than stuck in the wrong relationship just for the sake of saying I am in a relationship.
Thank you so much. And this is a big question. I mean, that people ask, what do I do if people are, I saw a question somewhere, what do I do if I've been in this situation and I want to date again, because people are really challenging out there. And we are thinking, how about asking, what can I do with myself right now before I consider dating again? Because it looks like our lives, many of us evolve relationship
Yeah.
around relationship. There is no pause button to say, you know what, it seems like things are not working right now for me. I might just need an opportunity to just chill and pause, and then maybe consider in future what I can do. But the thing is, people want to get back there straight away, as if in relationship is the be all and end all. There are other relationships out there to invest in. It's really lovely to have a romantic relationship. But love, you can love anybody. You can
Yeah.
love your family, your friends, your neighbors, the public. You can
Yeah, also
purpose.
if you don't really, you know, get into a relationship for the right reason, you're not gonna have like a very happy relationship. So
Absolutely, absolutely. Fear of being alone is not a reason to jump into the relationship. Thank you so much, Deborah. It's been lovely to have you. I know that it was like, oh my God, we are going to get to that again. I was actually going to pull out because there was some doubts I had about the film, but I love that we've done it again. And I'm sure, I think we need to do this again and again and again.
yeah,
Thank you so much.
we can schedule like a weekly appointment. I can
Yes.
send you like my shifts and everything, so we can arrange something.
Okay. Happy
All right.
flying when you fly next time.
I'll see you soon. See you
Me
tomorrow.
too. You too. Bye bye. Thank you.